Hi everyone, I'm Ryan Little. Thanks for joining us for this NITV Sport presentation. This week in our series of Australian Rules Regional Grand Finals, we bring you the 2013 VFL Grand Final between the Box Hill Hawks and the Geelong Cats. Now this Geelong team came into the Grand Final with the right to be confident. They were the reigning premiers, had finished top of the ladder in the regular season, but facing them was a Box Hill outfit which may have approached this game with a sense of having unfinished business. They'd lost to the Cats earlier in the season and hadn't won a flag since 2001. Both teams featured Indigenous players. The Hawks boasted Port Lincoln man Derek Wanganeen in the number 46 Guernsey and wearing 37 Jed Anderson from the Northern Territory. Turning out for the Cats were number 45 Joel Hamling from Broome and wearing the number 36 Guernsey Brad Hartman from Murray Bridge. Let's join our coverage now from Docklands in Melbourne.
Can the Hawks add to their premiership of 2001? Umpires Sean Gleeson, Brett Ritchie and Robert O'Gorman get the VFL Grand Final of 2013 underway, and it's West and Loudon in the first contest, and Loudon wins it decisively down to Hall and Smith, who's going to be a very important player for the Cats today. The Liston Trophy winner Schroeder getting underneath it, Kirsten knocked it down, Taylor Hunt got the toe, Genie got the football, gave it to Wanganeen to Isles as they run through the middle of the ground. Osborne tries to farm off the handball, but good pressure came from Mitch Brown. It was West who tumbles the ball forward. Lacked a bit of purpose, the kick though. And Giray was able to get back there and give it to Spanger. He's got a man out wide and the delivery was good. And that man is the son of the gun in Will Langford, who had a good game last week. Up in the direction of half forward. Ball comes to the ground. Sheringham was searching for it. Tobin has been a goal kicker for the Hawks so far this year. He's wrapped up in a strong tackle by Sheringham. And we'll have the first stalemate after 1 minute. David Rees-Jones keeping an eye on the match-up. Umpire Robert O'Gorman gets it in the air. West got a fingertip to it. Selwood trying to do something constructive with it. Nicely done by Hallahan. Out to Simpkin against his old team. He's been in the Geelong team the past couple of years, the best and fairest player, and that's the way to start against your old mob. Jonathan Simpkin kicks the first goal of the grand final.
Yeah, and a great start for Simpkin, but also for the Hawks too. Important to get some scoreboard pressure on and put some doubts in this very good Geelong team's mind. They've got a lot of young players out there, Geelong, and you just need to get that into their mind and get them thinking a bit.
Just looking at some of the matchups, Reece, it looks as though Taylor Hunt has got the job on Sam Isles. Yep. That's a big job for him today because he's such a playmaker. They're on the far wing over there on the City side of the ground. So first play to the Hawks. Loudon taps it down to Hall and Smith. Landed awkwardly there. He's got a grimace on his face. George Hall and Smith, as his leg was trapped underneath Langford. Unfortunately, no damage done.
Yeah, Langford has got the job on Hall and Smith, who is a very good player.
Stringer and Locke running together. West had a fresh air swing, and it was an extravagant one at that. Osborne in there lays the tackle. Umpire says holding the ball, and the advantage is paid. Hallahan out to Isles, who break away from his tag, and then he got some attention. So it's going to be Sam Grimley, by the look of it, who might get the kick. No, it's going to be Retzlaff, in fact, who's going to take it.
Well, he's a thumping kick, Retzlaff, so the distance won't be a problem. Just a matter of accuracy, but a little bit of ill discipline there. You don't need that free kicks downfield.
Former Brisbane Lion has played 11 games at the top level, Bryce Retzlaff. It should be a question of accuracy because, as Reece said, he thumps it. He's going to kick it from 51 metres. Contact is good, accuracy not so good. And he misses to the left-hand side. First blemish goes on the board for the Box Hill Hawks, who are doing all the attacking in the early stages of the grand final. Mitch Brown has had a pretty good year. The club really pleased with his development. Kicked it in the direction of Bathy. They're winning the 50-50 balls at the moment. Savage's kick was smothered. Wanganeen did it nicely. Cheney hoists it high inside the 50. One hand by Segler. Comes to the back. Here's Loudon, and he'll dribble through another one. It's being played at one end of the ground at the moment. And look at the positive body language coming from the Hawks. Luke Loudon gets the second goal of the grand final. And they have got a very handy little buffer after not even 4 minutes.
Yeah, and good skills by the big fella. That's not an easy kick, but he made it look easy. And yeah, able to get on the end of the handball there. Terrific work by Loudon, and a great start by the Box Hill Hawks.
So they've got one from a crumbing player and one from the taller brigade that Damien Carroll was talking about at the start of the game. Terrific start for Box Hill, and it is being played at the right-hand end of the ground at present. West this time wins the tap, but yet again Hall Smith has got nowhere to go against his old teammate. Simpkin rides him down to the ground.
They're nice and aggressive, the Hawks, and that's what's they're winning the hard balls, a contested ball at the moment.
And look at this, the two Liston Trophy winners are going at it. Schroeder and Hallahan, who stood on the stage at this very stadium a couple of weeks ago, and each got 17 votes and shared the Liston Trophy with Steve Clifton of North Ballarat. Hall Smith finally gets some clean air, but it's intercepted by Kelly. Tumbling punt inside the 50. Sully pushing back hard. Here's Grimley running away. Is this another one? You bet it is! What a start! Sam Grimley joins the party. And with not even 5 minutes on the board, the Box Hill Hawks have got the dream start.
Yeah, and once again, it's just the clearances. They're putting a lot of pressure on the Geelong players. Hall Smith's got his hand on it a couple of times, but has been under pressure delivering the ball, and Hawthorn have been killing with these clearances, and that's a real worry for Geelong. They need to get their hands on the ball, Geelong, and just settle it down a bit.
Phil Cleary, this is an unbelievable start, an amazing start, just what Damien Carroll would have wanted.
Yeah, it is, Peter, but look, they're a good side, aren't they? We know on paper what they can do. There is, I just noticed an energy in the rooms that they had, which was fantastic, and Geelong needs to, look, they need to get hands on the ball. Pause for a minute, and they're looking so dangerous, the Box Hill Hawks.
They're out of the middle again through Simpkin. Sully's under all sorts of pressure. The thing is, with this kind of pressure, it just breeds it, and you can build on it. It's momentum. It's hard to stop, Reece. We know it can just take you away, but Jordan Schroeder is able to collect a free kick or earn himself a free kick. And now it's with Thurlow. Wearing the number made famous by David Wojcinski for this club. It was a poor effort to mark by Sheringham. Out on the wing, it's picked up by the Hawks again. Got a couple to beat. O'Brien had 3 to bet on that occasion. Selwood needs to get involved in the game. Steady some of these young heads that surround him. Sheringham picks up the footy. He's kicked it to a nest of Hawks. Good contest by West of the Cats. Tackle applied there by Bathy. Held it up and he won the free kick.
Shane Kirsten doing very well there against Litherland, and he will come up with the kick at right half forward. The leading goal kicker with 40 goals for the season. Kirsten's kick is long. West, a bit of push and shove from Bathy out the back. No, Walker judged it well. He didn't actually take off.
He stayed down, actually, and looked like West was going for it, but just carried that little bit extra, and it caught Spanger out too, which, gee, it's a little bit of poor defensive work there by Matt Spanger.
Yep. It was Ryan Bathy who was in the front spot, and then Walker judging it nicely. They could do with this just to stem the tide a bit. And there's the steadier, the first one on the board for the Cats. Josh Walker, the son of a Geelong, or the grandson of a Geelong legend in Peter Walker, who played in a premiership team way back in the 60s, and he gets the first blood for the Cats, but they still have a bit of work to do already.
Yeah, and he's one of those players, young Walker, who is terrific at this level. Every time he's stepped up, I don't think he's got that real confidence in his ability yet at the top level, but it's going to come. He's a fine footballer.
Just 20 years of age, Josh Walker, in his second season at this level. Kicked 5 last week and has made an excellent start today. So it's West against Loudon in the ruck. The Geelong player won it, and then Selwood grabs it. Langford got into his back, and it's a free kick to the Geelong skipper. Now he's got one-on-ones ahead of him. He plays on to Taylor Hunt, showing some toe, backing himself. Could he go for goal? It won't get the trip. The contest is over the score. It's a magnificent grab. Bathy took it against a smaller opponent in Cheney. And boy, we came here expecting a good game, David Rees-Jones, and 8 minutes have elapsed, and we're about to see the 5th goal. Ryan Bathy was one of their best in the premiership win last year, and he has had an excellent start today.
He certainly has, and we mentioned at the start, Walker, Kirsten and Bathy, the tall forwards down there, they're mobile forwards too, so and very strong overhead as we see on that occasion, and a couple of marks and a couple of goals, and Geelong are right back in this, and they're a team that can score very quickly too, Geelong. We've known and seen throughout the course of this year that they didn't panic. They were 3 goals down very early in a match, and they know what they can do too. They've got some good players.
And what they can do is kick 100 points because they've done it 18 times this season in their 20 games. So a good reply by the Cats. West again with the hand down. Simpkin probably used to roving to the West tap. Here's the Liston Trophy winner in Hallahan. Hurried kick forward. O'Brien in the contest. Good roving from Loudon again, though. Got it on the left foot. Geelong defence will have to be careful. Mitch Brown was vigilant, but he's only popped it straight into the hands of Xavier Murphy. He wants to get up and play on quickly, but he's within range, so he should go back and have a shot at goal.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking there. He got up and was looking to dish off, but when you're in kicking range, unless you've got someone who is on their own, 10 or 15 out, you go back and slot it yourself.
So a big moment early on in the grand final for the young man. He's kicked 8 goals this year, and his kick is a beauty. So they are on target early on, and they're getting it done from a mixture of the talls and the smalls. Xavier Murphy kicks the goal, and the Box Hill Hawks move out to a 13-point lead after 10 minutes in a free-flowing VFL grand final.
Here, and just a little bit of pressure on Mitch Brown there caused that kick to drop a bit short, and obviously he couldn't just head for the boundary line, so stayed in. Murphy was on the end of it, but 6 goals in 10 minutes. This is an amazing start.
Phil, the crowd's making plenty of noise.
I fancy this is the biggest crowd we've had here, Peter, over the past handful of grand finals. They are really engaged. They've got some great character Geelong supporters. Even an older lady, I might call that, not far from me. She is so excited about the game, not about those goals. But the other thing, isn't it a good skill level game? It is so sharp. You can't turn the ball over. If you do, you pay.
It's the 6th year we've been here, and I think you're right, Phil. As Stringer goes out of the middle, kicks it to the advantage of Baffy, who marks it perfectly. We've got to have a look at that matchup. He's been able to influence one contest, which led to a goal, and take 2 contested marks against Kyle Cheney.
That was a great kick, though. Stringer just put that. You talk about, you put the kick to the advantage of your teammate, and he just put that extra few yards on it, and it had the carry there, and Cheney had really no chance on that occasion.
The former basketballer kicks his goal. He's got 2. He's got 30 now for the season. Their second leading goal scorer. And they're 3 straight Geelong. 3 inside 50s for 3 goals.
And Darren, it's not that long ago that we were seeing Ryan Baffy at the other end of the ground too. He started as a defender, and he's really made a mark in front of goals now, Reece.
Yeah, well, what we did, we saw him all last year as a defender, and he's got down forward this year, and he's just so strong. But his defensive skills, he uses them down on the forward line as well. So he's a valuable player at either end of the ground.
Well, you've got to love the way this game has started off. 7 goals, as Darren said, in the first 11 minutes. Yet again, West waiting underneath it. This time he was opposed to Segler. Corrigan dashing through. Very good VFL player, this man. Got his hands to the footy. Comes back to West. Gives it back to Corrigan. Needs to be careful. He's got it 3 times in the space of 30 seconds. Well done, Mark Corrigan. Kick went in the Taylor Hunt direction. Mirror was there for the spoil. Good body contact. Finished up in the hands of Mirror, who got it across. Now it goes through the middle of the ground. It's Savage who pops it up inside the 50. Little nudge at the back. And the umpire says there were no hands there. Umpire Robert O'Gorman, and Sam Grimley is going to be shooting for his second. Eased his man Matthew Sully, who's in the VFL Team of the Year underneath the footy.
One out. One over, Sam. It's here.
Grab too, but this is a frenetic pace at the moment. It just can't continue like this. You wouldn't think so anyway.
No, we're happy, but you would think the coaches are probably not at this stage with the way things are going. Developing into a shootout in the grand final. If it does become a shootout, you probably fancy Geelong.
Well, you would, because they're the team who've just been able to bang on big scores week after week.
Grimley, 25 out, straight in front, and he sprayed it and has kicked it out of bounds on the full line, nearly knocking the behind post out. My goodness. That won't do much for his confidence.
And Matt Sully told him all about it as well, as you would expect, races. Geelong come out of defence. Simpkin, excellent work, hard body, got it to Hallahan, who gave it up. The Cats are able to clear. It's over the line and out of play in front of Shane Savage. It also Phil Cleary. Phil, how the players looking as they come off? They working the rotations early?
Oh, they're working hard, but you know what I love about what's happening now in VFL Grand Finals is they are playing for keeps now. There's no doubt about this. A real grand final in every way.
Segler, the former Collingwood VFL listed player, got a kick up forward. Sheringham got a high contact free kick, and he's obviously been learning from the Selwoods the way he was able to move into that and earn the contact. He's stuck for options. Chooses to go as long as he possibly can. Howe was the target, the 19-year-old, playing just his fifth game of VFL footy. He couldn't hit him. Now Spanger has it. Fresh from an AFL qualifying final a couple of weeks ago. That kick's not great. And then he's marked well by Hamlin.
He backed himself, backed his judgment, and took the contested mark. Goes up the line from whence it came. Hawthorn favoured. The ball comes to the back. That was a low spearing kick, and so it got a bit of extra distance. Kelly quite happy to take the ball to the boundary line. He finishes up with a free kick. He wasn't expecting to get one either. Jackson Barra, the man standing on the mark, another son of a gun, son of Ricky. Kelly chips one over the top. It's Simpkin who has it at right half back. The Lockett end of the ground, trying to get the switch engineered. Wanganeen has got a man further out, and that is good running. Duray has run the angle. Got away from Howe, using that trusty left foot, but he didn't hit the target. Langford is able to keep the ball in play. Arches the back, tries to run away. Good persistence by the tackler. That was Buse who stuck at his task, and he did very well because it looked as though Hawthorn were going to get away. But another son of a gun in Jed Buse.
Certainly wasn't a great tackle too, because if Langford got away on that occasion, he would have been having a shot for goal.
Geelong trailing the Hawks by 7 points. Early stages, opening quarter here of the 2013 Grand Final. Langford, who kicked a couple of goals last week, tried to escape the congestion. It fell to Lock, his teammate, who rips it out of there. He's tackled by Sheringham. Schroeder then went and got it. Little kick was there. The umpires obviously telling him to keep it moving. Osborne pushes it clear. Hard work being done by all players. There is so much on the line. As we've said, they are playing for keeps. Erdley picks it up, and he's pushed over. And all the build-up is done now, and only one thing to do, and that's get the footy and try and win this premiership.
Easier. And that's where the Hawks are on top at the moment. They're winning a lot of that contested footy.
Easier said than done, Darren. That was they must have been watching Fremantle last night with that passage of play. The handball comes out, bouncing ball, Savage, goal, right place, right time. Shane Savage, who was prolific in the goal-kicking department last week with 5, got the bounce that he wanted. And the Box Hill Hawks have 5 goals in the first half of the first quarter.
And I think it was Will Langford who flicked that handball out. He just wanted the ball more. Just watch this. He just wanted the ball more than, I think it was Schroeder on the ground there, and flicked the ball out into a dangerous position. Savage was able to run onto it. Terrific work there by Langford.
Magnificent stuff from Langford. You're right, Reece. He's had a good year. Will Langford made his AFL debut against the Western Bulldogs as Savage and Sheringham having a chat about things. A boy from Bell Park and a boy from Noble Park. You wouldn't imagine either would take a backward step. We're back in the middle. It's Loudon for the Hawks against the rookie and Howe. And Savage gets the kick forward. It's inside 50 again for Box Hill. Grimley was clean bowled. Sully let it go past him as well. Hamley upended as he kicks it up towards the wing. Howe got a cruel bounce, but he actually gets a good bounce the second time around after the heavy work was done by Barham. They pile on top. We're going to have another ball up. And it was amazing catching the Final Story documentary on the 1989 Grand Final during the week. You've got Will Langford out here, you've got Jed Buse, and obviously that's another part of this magnificent rivalry between clubs wearing these colours. Up forward again go Geelong. At the back is Litherland. The West Australian is pursued by Walker. He checks himself. The kick was made okay by the captain. Good hands to Duray. He's under a lot of pressure. The Cats swarming. Burberry got it clear. Gleeson. Now Walker again for his second. He pushes it. The first blemish for the Cats. They're 3-1. Box Hill 5-1.
Cats putting some good pressure on inside their attacking 50. The thing that coaches use as a barometer for teams. Sheeny probably got the special haircut happening for the grand final. Max Bailey told us earlier in the year when he was in the expert comments chair that he's very particular about the do. Loudon's kick, short and good to Anderson. Murphy calls for it out wide. Hallahan calls for it short, and he'll get his wish. Thought about Murphy with the handball. Instead directs the kick well. It's nice delivery. They're working it nicely. Retzlav to Anderson. Inside the 50 again. Grimley! He's causing some headaches down there, Big Sam.
Thank you. Back here.
And you just look at the quality of the skills of these players. That was just a terrific kick. And kick to advantage, put it up and out in front of Grimley. He's a big man. And having his third shot at goal, isn't it?
Yeah, and hopefully his confidence hasn't been shaken too much for Hawks fans after what happened previously, where he nearly missed the whole 21 yards. Matthew Sully knows he's got a task on his hands today. Sam Grimley, round about the same distance. 30 out, straight in front, and that one is elementary. Grimley's got his second goal, and the Box Hill Hawks stretch it out to 18 points already, 4 disposals, 2 marks, 2 goals for Sam Grimley.
Yeah, and the big players at both ends having a real impact, but that was just a great kick. It was just put up and out in front of his teammate, who was able to run and jump at it, and that just makes that play so much easier for a big, tall forward. And they're having a real impact.
Phil, Sam Grimley is having a real impact. The Cats have got their hands full with him today.
Look, I saw him last week in that game, and I thought he looked like an emerging player on the cusp of big things. I put that to Damien Carroll before the game. You know what? David made a very important point. The kicking is so good that the back half is under immense pressure. Their delivery is just beautiful. So you're going to have to work hard to cut them up in the middle of the ground.
Grimley kicked 3 in the qualifying final as well. He's having a splendid final series, but it's the Cats who go forward again through Taylor Hunt. Walker's the target, doesn't get the trip. Cheney under pressure, and his hand pass misses Duray. It's over the line. So an 18-point lead to Geelong. They came in as not quite unbackable favourites, but they were hot favourites. Sorry, Box Hill's in front. Sorry, Reece, you're right, but Geelong came in as hot favourites. Hartman, the youngest man on the ground, wins that hard ball, gives it to Selwood. Now Schroeder. Hallahan bears down on him and puts pressure on his kick, and it's out of bounds on the full. Those two men whose names are going to be tied together in the history of this competition, having won the best and fairest award, as Pete's already mentioned a couple of weeks ago.
And they polled exactly the same votes, Darren. The 4 best on ground, 2 votes, 1 vote. So they are linked in all sorts of ways. Matt Spanger from the back pocket. Horland Smith waiting underneath it. He was outsized in the contest. Nicely done. It was Exxon who gathered it for the Hawks, and running underneath the football. Furlow didn't judge it very well. Now O'Brien with a chance to get it to Segler. The bounce favoured him, and there was just enough pressure. That was well done by Matthew Sully, who stuck at the task there just when it looked as though Segler might have been able to come up with the goal, and he got just enough pressure to affect the kick, and that is a good result for Geelong.
So Stringer can try and build from full-back. They've all moved across to this broadcast side wing, so the Cats want to try and break it open and use a bit of spread in the corridor. They play a daring brand of footy, and it comes off on this occasion. Walker's called to go. Kirsten could be his target at right half forward. He's in an acre of space, and that's exactly where the kick goes. Bathy's in the goal square if he plays on quickly. He's got West as well, moving down there, but Reece, it's a bit slow. It's a bit slow.
Yeah, he had his big blokes down there on bad matchups there, but
well, he's such a long kick.
Yeah,
well, the distance isn't an issue,
and that's the issue here. But I would have put that into the top of the square pretty quickly on that occasion.
Well, he's kicked 28 goals in the last 7 matches he's played, including 4 last week. He doesn't quite get the trip. They're going to contest close to the line, and it's over.
And it was only a 3-quarter kick too, Darren. It went 55.
Yeah.
Well, we've got thumping kicks at both ends. Brett Retzlaff at the other end, or Bryce Retzlaff, I should say, for the Box Hill Hawks. Shane Kirsten for Geelong. Smets taken down the strong tackle. West impersonating a rover and needing to get a leg break, and got a straight break instead. And a minor score for the Cats. 23 minutes gone. Hope you're enjoying the action from the Dockland Stadium in the VFL Grand Final of 2013.
Trent West played in the 2007 Premiership for the Cats VFL side. The only surviving player from that team is Spanger. Climbs high all over the back of West and takes a magnificent mark. Isles needs to get into the game for the Hawks. The player being called back was Jed Hughes. Now Hallahan, who's been prominent early. Loudon. Over to Murphy. They've got the overlap. Does he choose to hand pass short? He does. Segler combines with Savage. Pretty open forward line on this big ground. And, well, Anderson had a man right next to him.
Certainly, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Just didn't judge it.
He looked like he lost the ball, and there's no sun. The roof's on, so I don't know what the situation is there. Great mark there by Matt Spanger, and that was way too easy.
So Jed Anderson, who was effectively dropped from the Hawthorn qualifying final side a couple of weeks ago for a bloke named Rioli, which is probably not that hard to understand, but he's had a good first year at this level. He can't convert on that occasion. 6-2, Box Hill, Geelong a 3-2, 24 minutes in.
And we talked about the fact that Erdley seemed unsighted. The players do say here, Reece, occasionally that the ball can get in the lights underneath the roof. So we'll cut him some slack there and say maybe that was the case. Kirsten, that was a tumbling punt up towards the wing. West tried to apply the tackle, fend off from Osborne, got away with it. Segler gives it back. Langford got some attention, so did Spanger. Nearly had his head removed. Dominic Gleeson not sharing that viewpoint. Spanger goes on quickly. Sheringham going back. Professional free kick. Exon's got a man on inside the 50, and the young man did well. He didn't blaze away, and Retzlaff is the man who's got it, and he will shoot from 40 out on a slight angle.
Yeah, I think I mentioned before the game, it's you look at the skills of these young players, and you can understand why at the top level Geelong and Hawthorn have a lot of pressure coming from down below, and they're a good team.
Good raps on Ryan Exon, the man who delivered the footy, the 23rd player. Retzlaff's kick is a beauty. They are sharp, the Box Hill Hawks. 7 first-quarter goals in a grand final is probably beyond Damien Carroll's wildest dreams, and they lead by 4 goals. We've probably still got 4 or 5 minutes to go. It's been a goal fest in the opening term.
Yeah, Retzlaff's been important in the last few weeks. So I saw him earlier this year. He's running around in the development league, so struggling a little bit, but he's been put up and really having an impact as a major key forward.
Matty Knights watches on from the boundary. He's just made his way down there. He's just standing behind his players like a schoolmaster as he observes.
I should correct myself too, Darren. I think I said Hamlet, but it was Hartman.
Brad Hartman down there. We are going to be, of course, listening to his coach, Matthew Knights, at quarter time as he addresses his team, who trail at the moment by 4 goals. Tackle applied by Stringer, but Langford's been really good. Got a kick away under all sorts of pressure. The Cats' defence working really hard. Schroeder's got a strong body, but couldn't break free of Jordan Kelly, who has recovered. It's good to see from that heavy collision.
There's a Geelong player down here. I think it's Buse.
Buse, yeah. Jed Buse, who was involved in that last passage. So there's he moves the umpire standing beside him. He's trying to keep an eye on things. Spanger, too many flew, and Walker weighted down. Smart play from the 20-year-old. Josh Walker kicked 5 last week. He's got 2 so far today. And the Hawks just didn't work that out properly in the defensive half as Jed Buse comes to the bench.
Well, it's interesting, as you pointed out, that the emergency umpire was out there with Jed Buse.
Yeah, look, and we just watched that goal being kicked on that occasion, and just well read off the pack by Josh Walker. As I mentioned, he really is a quality player at this level, and every time he's stepped up, he hasn't quite made his mark yet, but he is one player who's going to. He's got a lot of talent, just needs a bit more belief at the top level.
Phil, you're down with Jed Buse at the moment. How does he look to you as he came off?
He's in a little bit of trouble. The coach was keen to get him off. I think he'll be all right. He just probably was winded. Matty Knights, it's interesting, he's come down, he's riding every bump, but he's a calm person, isn't he? Although under that calm, I think there's a little bit of nervousness about what's happening.
Rightly so too, because Retzlaff drives them inside 50 again. That time O'Brien not able to complete it, but it's still very much in dispute. The handball comes out to Loudon. O'Brien with a handball out to Simpkin in space as he got a target inside 50. Bouncing ball eludes Anderson. Corrigan will do well to get it to the line. He ducked underneath the tackle, took them on. Smet steps over the line, and he was quite happy to do so.
I'll tell you who had a target inside 50. Trent West saw a target on Tim O'Brien's head. I think he went through and narrowly missed with the heavy contact.
Matty Knights with a bit of a smile on his face. That will change as the game goes on. You can be sure of that, especially if Hawthorn continue, or the Box Hill Hawks continue to apply the pressure they have. Hall and Smith kicking the ball forward, and Jackson Barron letting the umpire know all about the high contact that he got from Kyle Cheney through the middle of the ground, and they're spreading out wide as well. Corrigan kicks it out into vacant land. It's Thurlow. Well done, Litherland. He left his man, ran off Josh Walker, who chases hard. Great stuff by the defender, but he's run so far. Oh, how unfortunate can you be? He backed himself and he took one step too many.
Calm down.
And Josh Walker just being told to calm down by the umpire.
Push Sam Miles, down behind the play.
Well, how is it not Josh Walker's free kick? Because he was the man who was chasing. And Thurlow somehow has finished up with the free kick. Anyway, it doesn't matter because it's Geelong's ball. Isles goes in, lays heavy contact on Corrigan. Crowd on that side of the ground said they thought it was high, and the umpire said, I thought it was holding the pill.
They're involved, the crowd. This is absolutely a grand final that we had wanted, and it is delivering. 32 minutes have gone in this first quarter. They're going to be exhausted come the quarter-time siren. And it's going to be a Geelong free kick. The Cats fans see that as a little bit of justice. Thurlow with it. The lead is offered by Burberry short. He goes longer, where Walker has a couple to beat. Spanger did really well to come back with the flight to influence the contest. Wanganeen was involved, so too Spanger again. Savage clears the immediate danger. Hunt's grabbed, claimed and restricted from going on with it. Langford came in and again applied some really good pressure over the top.
Tell you what, the tackling's gone up about 10% in the last 5 minutes.
They've been good, the Hawks. Geelong hasn't been able to get that running game going that they like and using their skills.
Howe got it across to Taylor Hunt. Awkward bouncing ball. Kelly will need to be vigilant with the handball. They work that out okay. Litherland's kick. Just enough to clear the 50, but there was a cruel bounce. Schroeder on the Smets, who can straighten up and spot a target, and he did well. Again, not a case of blazing away, and Ryan Bathy was the man who presented the option inside 50. Well done, Billy Smets, and Ryan Bathy will kick for his third goal after the siren.
Yeah, lucky bounce there, but that happens in our game with the shape of our ball. It's an important kick here.
Well, this gets them back to within 2 goals, and that's probably about the best result they could have hoped for, really, with the Box Hill Hawks' dominance for most of the quarter. 40 out, 45-degree angle, and that won't come back far enough. So an opportunity goes begging on the siren. What a quarter of football by the Box Hill Hawks, kicking 7 goals. Their best first quarter of the season was 7-7 against Coburg in round 18, and they've come up with 7-2 at a time that is a very opportune one. In the grand final, Box Hill leads by 17 at quarter time.